you're on my home turf now, pal. We're at the Mint Kentucky Downs. This is the Bluegrass State, pal. Welcome to my old Kentucky home.
Yeah, this is our first time doing a remote location show right across the state border in Kentucky.
A fan of the Ohio State University.
OH.
IO. So I guess congrats to him, but it's okay to be wrong. So you are entitled to your opinion, but it's okay to be wrong about said opinion.
Well, and I mean, you got to think Ohio's close enough to Kentucky. I'm sure there are a lot of Ohio State fans in Nashville, so I'm sure there are a plethora here in the Bluegrass State. And I asked him how he was feeling about the matchup with Texas, and he told me he's actually feeling pretty confident that, quote, he thinks Arch Manning has arrived too early.
Famous last words, man. Famous last words. I'm looking up at SportsCenter right now. They're talking about notable new quarterbacks on ranked teams. The two quarterbacks that compete next week in that week 1 matchup, Arch Manning and freshman Julian Sayin on Ohio State. I mean, those are going to be two fun young quarterbacks to watch. I can't wait. I'm just so excited that college football is back today. You get a ranked matchup, number 22, Iowa State, taking on number 17, Kansas State in Dublin, Ireland. Game day is on right now I think they're live in Dublin.
It's not the official college game day. We still have to wait one more week for that. We got to get emotionally prepared because it's Lee Corso's last game day.
It will be a sad
I don't think it's hit me quite yet that after next Saturday we will no longer have Lee Corso picking the headgear. Are you emotionally prepared?
I'm not emotionally prepared. Here's the thing. I expect him to roll out the Brutus helmet, the Brutus hat for his last headgear pick because, he always talks about...
That was his first love.
Yeah, it's his
Brutus
first love.
His first love.
Brutus is his first love. Then I think it's Lee Corso. Lee Corso's catchphrase is, not so fast, my friend. So what if he rolls out the Bevo hat?
I totally expect him to go Brutus. Just because I don't know if he's going to mind being wrong since it's his last show. And he picked Brutus the very first time he did the headgear. So why not pick him again to close out what was a phenomenal run for Lee Corso? I got to tell you, I'm going to use every minute up until Saturday morning to get myself prepared. And next Saturday when we do the show during game day, I may be an emotional wreck.
You haven't experienced this show during Saturday mornings because we usually put game day on the big TV behind us. And obviously we don't have sound, but it's always fun when you see, Pat McAfee's picking Ohio State, and we're like kind of updating it live on air. So that'll be fun. Unfortunately, we won't be able to, provide sound to that. So you won't be able to.
We'll be given a play-by-play update.
If we start choking up, then you probably know why.
You're going to have to bear with me as I get emotional.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Corso is synonymous with college game day and vice versa. So it's going to be a very bittersweet goodbye. But frankly, not to put a damper on the parade, Corso should have retired like 10 years ago.
Honestly, because I know his health has kind of gone downhill since his stroke, but he's had help from Kirk Herbstreit on set, trying to get his words out, finish his sentences, and they've worked long enough so he can do that. But I need Lee Corso as much as I could possibly have on TV, and I know again his health has gone downhill a little bit, but man, I'm still not ready for that final Saturday where he says goodbye.
Me neither. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. You can give us a call or a text. Our phone line is driven by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Jake Wallman is broadcasting, our producer, from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. We are live here at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. The grand opening today, or they have a grand opening event today. The grand opening was Wednesday. The grand opening event is today. They are on from 11 to 7. Come on down. Say hi to us. Come watch some college football with us. We are going to be here all day. It's going to be a time. But coming up next, we will get into the Titans' preseason victory, 23-13 against the Minnesota Vikings last night. A solid showing from Cam Ward, but there was one player that was getting a lot of hate that had a great game last night. That's up next here on the Weekend Huddle. Connor Newt, Parker Kelly with you all Saturday morning here on 102.5 The Game. .9 The Fan, the Nashville Sounds take on the Louisville Bats, AAA affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds at First Horizon Park with the first pitch at 6:35. Coverage also available on the Game Nashville app and at thegamenashville.com. Sounds Baseball and ESPN 94.9 The Fan presented by Twin Peaks and Family Leisure. Welcome back. Weekend Huddle here on this Saturday morning. Parker Kelly, Connor Newt with you live from the Mint Gaming Hall at Kentucky Downs. We are at Circa Sportsbook, the grand opening event today from 11 to 7. Come hang out with us. There have been people here gambling since like 8 in the morning, which I don't know if that is a conflict of interest.
They may need to help hit up the gambling hotline there.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning, granted it is week 0, so I can understand. But
well, they're not even sports betting. They're just doing like these little, jackpot things like that. So I'm not here to shoot down the gambling.
We're not here to judge. We're just here to talk sports.
I mean, it's pretty packed here for 9 a.m. on a Saturday. All new customers that show up are eligible for a $250 deposit match on Circa Sports Kentucky mobile app. And that's only able to be redeemed at the Circa Sports Kentucky retail sportsbook counter in the Mint of Kentucky Downs. This promotion will be running from August 20th to 24th here at the Circa Sports booth giveaway. Let's get into the Titans, Parker. Big, not really a big win. It's preseason, but they did win last night, 23-13. Cam Ward had a solid showing. Nothing completely, just awesome, but he was 3 of 4 for 36 yards and led a touchdown drive. Did not pass for any touchdowns, but did lead a drive down the field in which Julius Chestnut ran into the end zone. Chestnut and Kalel Mullins both had nights. Chestnut with 5 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown. Kalel Mullins, the rookie out of Michigan, with 6 carries for 27 yards and a touchdown. And a guy that has been getting a lot of flack this week, Van Jefferson, has himself a great night on the stat sheet. 3 catches for 102 yards for a touchdown. Had the 65-yard touchdown reception from Brandon Allen, not from Cam Ward. But what do you think the temperature is on this offense now that the preseason is over? I think we've seen some flashes, but what do you think this offense is completely capable of when we get to the regular season?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I think there is a reason for optimism, and a big reason for that is how the offensive line is played. For the relatively most part, they've kept Cam Ward clean. And that is something that over the past 2-3 years, how much have you been hearing us get on the air and complain about the offensive line? And it seems like we've barely mentioned them throughout this entire preseason, throughout the training camp. So that's a good thing. And I think that provides a level of optimism. And then obviously there's going to be excitement around a first overall pick at quarterback Cam Ward. You have some exciting new receivers, an exciting new tight end and Gunnar Helm. So the pass catching room is certainly, as it stands right now, quantity over quality, because there are so many bodies that you could make an argument that can make this 53. I think we have a pretty good idea as roster cut down day is going to be. The final day will be Tuesday, so we're going to know what the 53-man roster looks like. But this wide receiver room, there are a lot of bodies that are going to contribute this year. And what a night for Van Jefferson. We were talking about this last night. He really needed this bounce back game in a big way. And I saw him at practice. I know you were out there at practice as well. He was on the jugs machine every day after practice. And oftentimes he was there until after the media availability was over. So he was there for a while, and boy, did he bounce back in a big way.
I get thrown off every time Van Jefferson is on the field, though. Quick sidebar, because he wears number 11, and he kind of has a similar build to A.J. Brown. So I get excited every time I see number 11 catch a ball, especially last night. If you go watch the route he ran, it was a fly route, but he kind of put the wheels on. It was
a short little route. Just caught it, made one move, made the corner miss, and then it was just a sprint to the end zone.
Yeah. As far as Cam Ward is concerned, do you feel like you saw everything you need to see out of him this preseason? Because I feel like I would have liked to see him throw a touchdown pass. Last night, it felt conservative from that standpoint. There was a lot of running when he was on the field, and I think that's to preserve him from injury or what say you. But I would have loved to see, we're in the goal line. It's 3rd down. I know Calvin Ridley only played 1 preseason game, and that was the first one. But I would have loved to see like an Alec Ioman or slant across the middle, or Van Jefferson out route for a touchdown. I think that would have made me feel a lot better about Cam Ward.
Well, let's take into account how many drives he's played. So he played 2 in the first preseason game versus Tampa, played 3 versus Atlanta, and 2 last night versus the Vikings. I understand, and I'm sure a lot of fans feel that same sentiment of, I want to see Cam Ward get a touchdown. He almost had one yesterday.
Yeah,
Alec Ayomanor was down at the 1. So he almost had one yesterday. But here's the thing. He's made, besides the one ball that was almost picked versus Tampa, we talked about this on the car ride up there, he has not turned the ball over.
Yep.
And he's made, I thought his decision-making has been clean, crisp, getting the ball out on time, which is exactly what I've wanted to see. He's made some explosive plays. I feel encouraged. Like, honestly, I'm not as concerned about Cam Ward heading into week 1 at Denver as I was 3 weeks ago, but that's not going to say he's going to ball out and throw 5 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns like Mariota did in his rookie debut. But I feel pretty good about him.
Yeah. Through 3 preseason games, Cam Ward was 10 of 19 for 145 yards. That is a 52.6 completion percentage, no passing touchdown, no interceptions, 77.8 passer rating, and only 1 sack. I would say for a preseason rookie quarterback, that is some pretty good numbers given the amount he saw the field.
And what's helping Cam Ward is he knows he has time to make the throws. You want to make your rookie quarterback as comfortable as possible. And if your starting offensive line gives him time, gives him help in the run game with Tony Pollard, and you'd like to see Tajay Spears bounce back from whatever this ankle thing that he has going on.
Yeah.
I thought Kalel Mullings and Julius Chestnut both, they had a long rush of 17 and 16 yards respectively last night. I thought they showed some things. Julius Chestnut, he's just one of those guys that just always seems to just stick around, makes plays throughout training camp, makes some plays in the game when he gets a chance. I thought they looked good last night, and nothing is more of a quarterback's best friend than a good run game.
Over on the defensive side last night, Jeffrey Simmons saw a little bit of playing time, made an actual really good play, stuffed the run on, I think it was 2nd and 10 to force 3rd down. He looked good out there. You and I were talking about this last night. He is in, just by looking at him, you can tell he is in the best shape he has ever been in. And I hope that translates over to the field. But I was excited to see Jeffrey Simmons out on the practice, or not even practice field, the Nissan Stadium field for a preseason game last night.
Absolutely. I'd say he's in the best shape of his career. He's slimmed down. He was, I think, around 297, 298 or so, down about 20 pounds. So he's very slim, but he focused on, once he did slim down, trying to put on a little bit more muscle. And that's going to help him in terms of rushing the passer, because nowadays, defensive tackles, you look at Micah Parsons, he's not a true defensive tackle, but he can rush from the interior, and that helps him getting around some of these bigger offensive linemen because he is quick, because he's so elusive. So that's going to help Jeffrey Simmons, and he still has the muscle mass, and he could still push the pocket, and especially if he has help from T'Vondre Sweat. So that's certainly very encouraging as well. And Denard Wilson's talked about it. Jeffrey Simmons is a man on a mission.
Yep.
I mean, he is pissed off about how things went for the Titans last year.
Pissed off at media too.
Yeah, well, we won't necessarily talk about that. But he 3-14 last year, picking number 1 overall. As a competitor, you should not be happy about the way things went last year. Man on a mission. I'm excited to see how things go.
Let's go to our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Coy in Clarksville says, who do you think won the inside linebacker 2 job last night? Both Cedric Gray and James Williams Sr. played great. Man, I mean, Cedric Gray looked phenomenal. He had a sack last night as well, I believe. And he was just bouncing all over the field. But I love James Williams too, the 6th-round guy out of Miami from last year. I don't know if you can put a number 1 at that position.
Wait, so Cedric Gray did not have a sack last night. He did have the sack versus Atlanta. James Williams had the interception last night on the pass deflection. But here's what I think. I think James Williams is going to get the start next to Cody Barton, because he's primarily been the guy out there next to Cody Barton throughout the 3 weeks or so of training camp. Cedric Gray is going to play. So they're going to rotate in and out. Cody Barton's the mainstay. He's the green dot. He's the leader of him and Jeffrey Simmons, leaders of that defense. Amani Hooker in there as well.
Which is what you want.
Right. James Williams is if I had to guess, if you held a gun to my head and you asked me who's going to be the starting linebacker next to Cody Barton, right now I would say James Williams. But Cedric Gray, the way he's played the last 2 preseason games, is certainly making a case for himself. He's going to play.
Yeah, I would think so as well. I think that's probably the right move, rotating those 2 guys in and seeing how they play alongside each other. But you're right, Cody Barton is absolutely the mainstay of this inside linebacker room. Did you know there was a record broken last night at Nissan Stadium?
I did.
Joey Sly from 63 yards out. That is the longest kick made ever in Nissan Stadium.
Are you Titans fans still worried about that missed PAT?
I mean, John Fossil kind of got me back on board. Maybe that's two-tone till I die in me, but Joey Sly looked good last night. I was impressed.
He did. Joey Sly, I think the biggest thing for him is going to be the consistency. But the fact that he hit a 63-yarder last night, the longest field goal in that stadium, I think since Rob Baronis kicked, I think he kicked somewhere around a 60-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Maybe
Brandon Aubrey last night kicked from like 68 for the Cowboys, I think.
Yes. Yeah. And then the kicker for the Jaguars, he had the 70-yard. I think it was in preseason week 1. I'll have to look up his name, but yeah, that's encouraging too. If Titans Twitter wants something to run with, you take that 63-yard field goal.
Yeah,
and it had room to spare too.
Yeah,
so
615-737-1025. We want to hear from you now that the preseason is over. How do you feel about this Tennessee Titans team headed into the regular season? Week 1 against Denver, not this Sunday, not next Sunday, but the Sunday after. We are so close to NFL football here in Tennessee. We are live here at Circa Sports, the brand new sports book here at the Mint Gaming Hall at Kentucky Downs. Come by, see us. Their grand opening event, is going on from 11 to 7. We're going to be here all day. We're going to hang out and watch some Week 0 college football. Farmageddon, Iowa State and Kansas State are going at it in Dublin, Ireland tonight. I guess it's tonight for them. It's at 11.
It will be, over across the pond.
It is 11 a.m. for us. We will be on the air until noon, but we are going to stick around and we're just going to have ourselves a fun time. 615-737-1025. We want to hear your calls and texts. How do you feel about this Tennessee Titans team headed into the regular season? That's up next. Weekend Huddle here on 1025 The Game. Connor Newton, Parker Kelly. We'll be right back. There you go. That was Brian Callahan talking about the offensive line last night and throughout the preseason, which has been wildly surpassing my expectations. Real quick, let me tell you, Nashville's best deal of the week is Bavarian Beer House, conveniently located at Opry Mills Mall. Enjoy beer, food, music, and fun at Nashville's only authentic German beer hall, where it's Oktoberfest every day. Head to thegamenashville.com/deals now to get a $50 gift card for only $25 to Bavarian Beer House while supplies last. Welcome back in. Weekend Huddle here on this Saturday morning. Connor Newt, Parker Kelly with you all morning, taking you around the Titans. Going to get into some college football later in the show. Talked a little bit of high school football last night. It is football all day here on this Saturday morning. And you just heard Brian Callahan talk about the offensive line. I think the expectations were low coming into the season because it couldn't be any worse for the offensive line. Now you've kind of seen the offensive line show out. They've had a good camp. They had a good preseason showing, only allowing 1 sack through 3 games. I think that's kind of a testament to my expectations for this team. I don't expect much, but they've kind of proven me wrong so far. How do you feel about that, Parker?
Well, considering where the offensive line has been absolutely heinous the last 3 years, I think it's pretty fair to say that we should temper our expectations. Now, they have looked good in practice. They've kept all quarterbacks pretty clean. They've looked great through the preseason. Cam Ward only sacked 1 time. So they've looked really good. And I've been saying with talking to TD about this, I think the offensive line is going to take a while to gel, at least when the regular season gets here. And that may be 4 games or so before they really start feeling comfortable. But, I mean, you got to think about it. Dan Moore, who's coming over from Pittsburgh, the new left tackle of this team, he's never played next to the left guard, who is Peter Skoronski. Lloyd Cushenberry, coming back from an injury, he's never played next to the right guard, who is also new, and Kevin Zeitler. And now you have J.C. Latham for the first time since his early days at Alabama and his high school days. He's flipping over to right tackle, which is arguably his most comfortable position. But he hasn't played right tackle in the NFL yet, and he's playing next to Zeitler, who he's also never played next to. So a lot of chemistry to be developed there. So it may look a little bit different once the regular season gets here, and they'll be going up against a Denver defense who you can make the argument is one of the best defenses in the NFL. It may take a little bit to gel, and that's okay, but I think they will get there.
Beth on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. There we go. You know, Game Blitz is taking a lot out of me. So,
hey, we were on the air for a long time last night. You better get used to hearing Connor and I on Friday nights, Saturday mornings, fill-ins throughout the week. I mean, it seems like we've been everywhere, but hey, it's fun. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Beth on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, says, for the first time in a very long time, it seemed like the Titans found a rhythm, which gives them a boost of confidence heading into the regular season. They needed this. I could not agree more. It's not a game that matters. It's a preseason game. But preseason to me is all about how does your starting offense gel, and of course, how does the back end of your roster look, because you want it to be as solid as possible.
Right.
I think that the Titans, through 3 preseason games, granted they showed some slack on some points, especially in that second game. I feel like the offense was off a little bit, the starting offense, that is. But last night, I felt like you're right, Beth, they found a rhythm. They were connected. They were poised. They looked like a competent football team out there, which is good to see.
Yeah. And to take into consideration as well, you're going up against the Vikings. I know their starters did not play last night, but Brian Flores, one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL in terms of the exotic blitz, I mean, throwing the kitchen sink at opposing quarterbacks. So to see the offense operate the way that they did last night versus a Brian Flores-led defense, it's hard to take too much away from the preseason. It's hard to get a really good read on what all is going on. But I feel encouraged, and I'd say Titans fans should as well, heading into the season, because they have to improve. I think it's pretty obvious that they have to improve, and Coach Callahan's going to be coached for his life once we get to the regular season.
He is. I mean, you read the article from Jeremy Fowler and Teron Davenport.
Great article.
Which is fantastic.
Great article.
Great job, TD. We love you. Great article, first of all. And you read that article and you thought, quick trigger Amy almost pulled the trigger on Callahan again after one season. You got to think he's coaching for his job this season on some level. Granted, I don't think it'll be more measured on wins and losses. Obviously, if he starts 1-8,
well, that's going to play a factor.
That's going to play a factor.
Certainly.
But I think more so than wins and losses, Callahan's job this season is about how can he develop Cam Ward? How does Cam Ward look under Callahan? And so far in the preseason, you've kind of seen some flashes. I'm not saying that Cam Ward is immediately a surefire Hall of Famer and that you should give him the gold jacket immediately and build a statue outside of the new Nissan Stadium with number 1 on it. But he looks like a competent quarterback, and he looks like, just a quarterback that this franchise can put all their trust in.
Yeah, and expectations are going to be high, but they're still going to be, despite the encouraging plays that he's made in the preseason, he is a rookie quarterback. There are going to be ups and downs. Not everybody is going to be a CJ Stroud. Not everybody is going to be a Jaden Daniels. I don't expect this Titans team, because think about it, there were pieces around Jaden Daniels last year that they were an already built winner. They just didn't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
And you insert Jaden Daniels, who had the rookie year that he had, and boom, they're playing in the NFC Championship game, 1 win away from going to a Super Bowl in year 1 under Jaden Daniels. I don't think that is the case at all with this Titans team. If Cam Ward overperforms expectations, I still think that there are a lot of holes around him that the Titans will need to shore up, and they'll do that through the next few drafts. But there's a lot to take away from these preseason games.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. Let's go to our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Eric is on the line. He has been waiting very patiently. Eric, go ahead.
Hey, guys. Definitely from what I saw last night, I'm kind of optimistic. I think that the Titans, I think they can double their win total and get to 6, maybe 7. That's probably the best I can see them doing. And like you said, I'm real happy with confident quarterback play. The one thing I kind of was surprised about, guys, was offensive line. Was it Pro Football Focus that had to rank, as far as offensive line, 5th in the NFL? Is that am I correct when I was hearing that?
I haven't paid too much attention to the PFF numbers.
Yeah. PFF for me is kind of hard to follow just because I don't think it's entirely accurate all the time. But,
right. Stats don't lie, but they don't always tell the truth either. But, yeah, the offensive line's still been encouraging.
Yeah. I had them ranked ahead of like the Ravens, which has stunned me. And were they ranked ahead of the Chiefs? I don't think they were ranked ahead of the Eagles, but I can't remember the way they did it. The other thing, it's still you hopefully just play better as the defense, because I think there's games that they can struggle. One of the things I was encouraged about, but you don't know how he's going to play, of course, is they took the Jerry Sneed off the physical pup list. Whether or not he's going to play week 1 against Denver, I don't know, but hopefully he can come back and show what he showed when he played for the Chiefs. So that's going to be interesting to see the secondary and how well these guys can play. Overall, guys, I'm encouraged, but again, we'll kind of wait to see what happens, guys. Guys, y'all take care. We'll talk again soon.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Eric. That's a good call. I'm with Eric. I am encouraged by what I've seen, but the bar is low. Like I expected this to be the team that drafted number 1 overall, the worst team in the NFL. Granted, it's preseason. We haven't seen best on best, as they call it, but I am encouraged by the pass pro. I am encouraged by the quarterback. I'm encouraged by the young receivers that you've seen, Alec Iomanner and Chim DK. Chim didn't play too well last night. I think he had 1 catch for 1 yard, but he was getting some punt return yardage.
Yeah, he did. He did hop in there at punt returner, which I'm honestly kind of shocked about. Like, they had James Prochet out there returning punts.
Those need to be your 2.
They had Jaquan Jackson out there returning kickoffs and punt. And I'm like,
he's not
going to make the team. Why are you wasting reps with him out there? I believe somebody this week when John Bones Fossil had his media availability asked about Chim DK at punt returner, if that was a legitimate option. And Coach Fossil seemed kind of hesitant on that idea as of right now, but it sounds like James Prochet is going to get a bulk work of that load.
Oh, here we go. Josh from White House on our text line says, am I the only one that still wants to see Xavier Restrepo make this 53?
You are not the only one, sir. There are a lot of people. It's a fan favorite.
He's a fan favorite, and being out there on that practice field and talking to him and being around him, he radiates energy. He's a nice guy. He has connection with Cam Ward, obviously, as they were teammates at Miami. I'm just going to tell you right now, he is probably about wide receiver 9 or 10 on this team. He's not going to make the team.
which is it's tough to say. Xavier Restrepo, all-time leading receiver at Miami, and you think about the wide receivers that have come through that school. It's so impressive. The thing is, James Prochet has really come on in camp.
Yeah.
Bryce Oliver just keeps making play after play after play. I think he'll be a legit playmaker for this team come the fall. There are just so many receivers in that room. And he got a little help. You never wish injury upon anybody, and it's really unfortunate what's happened to Traylon Burks, but he got a little help in that category. But then James Prochet really stepped up. So I do not see a world in which Xavier Restrepo makes this 53-man roster. There's a chance he could make the practice squad. But if he goes through waivers and gets picked up by another team, which I could see being the case, then who knows?
615-737-1025 is our phone number. We'll take your calls and texts on the Titans and their preseason victory against the Vikings. Again, they win 23-13 at Nissan Stadium. You're probably wondering, where is Dr. Crane Nick Frazier today? We don't know, to be honest with you, but we will know here in about 2 minutes as he's going to join us for his first edition on Weekend Huddle of the Frazier Files. That's coming up next. Connor Newt, Parker Kelly here on the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game. Oh, yes. P.I. Nick Frazier. I love it. This fall, live at Pinnacle at Nashville Yards, Tim McGraw will perform at Trinidad's Rock the Cradle. This event is sure to be a great time celebrating a great cause. Proceeds from the event will support newborns and moms at Ascension St. Thomas Midtown. Get your tickets now at rockthecradlenashville.org. Welcome back in. Weekend Huddle. Connor Newt, Parker Kelly. We are live here from Circa Sportsbook at Kentucky Downs. Come on down. We're going to be here all day watching some college football. Come make your bets. People, like I told you, have been here since like 7 a.m. gambling. That's something I don't understand. But to each their own. You're probably wondering where Nick Frazier is. America's favorite sideline reporter, as we learned yesterday. He is on our phone lines, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Nicholas J. Frazier, I miss you so much. I wish you were here with me.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. I'm very jealous y'all are at Circa Sportsbook. I've heard it's a beautiful spectacle to see. I want to know what the menu's like out there. I don't know if they're going to serve you guys food or not, but
they better.
You know me.
They have a Pie Rollers pizza parlor here that I know that if you were here, you and I would definitely be hitting that up.
Yeah, I'd be destroying a good 12-inch pizza for sure. Appreciate the kind comments last night. You guys did a really good job on Game Blitz. It was a lot of fun to be out there at Maplewood versus McGavick. And, yeah, overall, we can just put it out there. Maplewood's a good ball club.
Yeah.
I think Chris Simpson has a good team, especially a good run game, as you probably heard throughout the broadcast. And, yeah, we got McGavick at Hunter's Lane next week. So we'll see how McGavick responds after a thrashing last night.
I want to tell you this, though, because Parker and I were laughing, not at you, but with you. Your very first checkup when, of course, we were having some audio issues getting to you. You, at one point, you said, "Hey, Coach Bubba, how you doing?"
Oh, it was so funny. We started dying laughing in the background.
We lost it.
Well, I couldn't really hear on my phone at the beginning of it because the band was playing. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm on or I am on. Like, I didn't know if he was checking in with me, just like a sound check. And he goes, "Let's check down there." I was like, "Oh boy."
Here we go.
Sensory overload last night. Sensory overload.
Yeah. Hey, Connor, Stadium Pulse. It was at 11.
Stadium Pulse. Wow, there's a bunch of guys in hard hats outside of this studio right now.
Uh-oh.
It's like a museum. Frazier, people have been here gambling since like 7:15 in the morning. Like that might be Rick Merritt level of degenerate.
Bless their hearts. That's all I got to say. Bless their hearts.
Bless their in the southern old lady way. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about the Titans. This kind of goes into my Frazier files a little bit. You can call it like a warm take or whatever you want to call it, a bold take, whatever you want to call it. But
room temperature.
You guys talking about the wide receiver room and Xavier Restrepo probably not going to make the team. I mean, let's all just remember this is a Titans team that's more than likely going to win 6 games. Yeah, they looked pretty good last night against Minnesota. I went back and watched some highlights. Van Jefferson had a really good game. I think you look at Van Jefferson, and I look at him as a trade asset somewhere down the line. Yeah. Again, that's a very calculated, point of view. That's, the 10,000-foot view. But I think maybe when it comes to the trade deadline, there's going to be a team out there that's going to need a guy like Van Jefferson, and I can easily see the Titans offloading him. Again, I don't want to look too far into the future, but Restrepo aspect of all this, people are like, oh, man, Xavier Restrepo, leading receiver from Miami, could definitely see him being really good in the NFL. And sure, things have not really panned out for him in the preseason with the Titans. He's had, 3 receptions for 20-plus yards or something like that. Like, I think down the road, if the Titans, let's just say if Restrepo clears waivers, you could easily see him possibly coming back on the practice squad and somehow being elevated to this Titans roster, I think, in some aspect. Because, again, you look at this Titans team, they're only going to win 7 games at most in some regard. So I think the rest of the season, after they hit their plateau, just try out some things, experiment. He could be the Mason Kinsey of this team right now.
Yeah.
And you could easily just focus on the future. And maybe he catches a stride with the Titans. And again, this is all hypothetical, that, he plays well down the road. So I don't know. If he clears waivers, we'll see what happens.
I think that's interesting because the Titans do have the first waiver claim, which has been talked about, but I see them wanting to use that on a free agent. And here's my concern about Xavier Restrepo is I think teams are going to they understand that he was the all-time leading receiver at Miami. So I think he would get picked up by another team, which kind of scares me because I would love to have him back on the practice squad.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Like, there's going to be a team out there that's going to pick him up, but after the regular season is over with, I mean, is he going to be on a roster? My opinion says no. I don't think he will be. I think he'll be a free agent. I think he's kind of looked at as a wide receiver rental for practice squads and lower tier depth. So maybe if he ends up, honing in on his craft, maybe increasing the speed off the ball, maybe he gets, a little faster here and there. Maybe these are all maybes. Maybe he comes out and next season for the Titans and maybe he's on the practice squad. I don't know. I just think this is a long process for Restrepo and the Titans. And maybe if Cam Ward wants his guy back, that's what's going to happen.
Nick Frazier, today is a great day. You know why today is a great day?
Why is that?
A, because you're on the air with us. B, it is week 0 of the college football season. We got Farmageddon kicking off.
You're in basketball mode, buddy. It's football season.
Football is just the sport before basketball. We got Farmageddon kicking off in about an hour and 15 minutes. What do you think of this matchup? This is 2 ranked programs, mind you, Kansas State and Iowa State. This game's got some playoff implications, Big 12 title implications. What is on your mind as far as week 0?
Yeah, I mean, again, top 25 matchup. It's really, I'm intrigued to see what Avery Johnson's going to look like. I mean, K-State has been one of those teams that's always been, has always had a really good product on the field. I mean, back when they had Deuce Vaughn as their running back, I'd say, 2-3 years ago, they had a really good explosive offense. I could see that kind of rekindling in some aspects. I would like to see the passing game would be a big factor for them. Obviously, Iowa State, the Cyclones have been pretty good as well. I mean, that's why they're both ranked. Overall, I kind of want to see a ground and pound football game. We've seen that a lot over the past couple of years when teams, especially college football games, go overseas. They play on that thick grass, and a lot of those guys are not accustomed to it, and they have to run the ball a lot. So, I mean, that's kind of where I'm leaning towards, is seeing a big run game. Passing game, I think you'll see run, pass type thing, like 2 runs here, a pass there. Hopefully it doesn't get too predictable, but I'm very intrigued to see what this matchup holds out to be. I mean, it's college football, man. Anything could happen.
I think the Big 12 is fascinating. I don't think it's talked about enough, but I think the Big 12 is fascinating as far as quarterbacks, because there are so many good quarterbacks in this league. It almost is compared to the SEC in terms of future Sunday guys. And Rocco Beck for Iowa State, Avery Johnson, 2 of those guys for sure. Avery Johnson, he has his leading receiver returning, his leading tight end, and they went out and they got him 3 receivers from the portal because they just want to see more out of that passing game that you were talking about.
Yeah, and that's that. I mentioned the passing game, 1, because it's impressive to watch, but 2, like I said before with the grass, I don't know how these guys are going to, pass the ball well when you have thick grass like that. Nonetheless, I just remember when games were played in Dublin, a couple seasons ago, or it was last season. Wasn't it Florida State, Georgia Tech? They played in Dublin.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, I just remember that grass being super thick, and there was and obviously Georgia Tech's known for running the ball, but a lot of teams had a hard time throwing.
Yeah. Nick Frazier, before we let you go, I've been dying to know the answer to this question because I think I know the answer, but I want to hear it from you. What was the dress code for you last night on the sideline? I'm going to guess polo and khakis from you.
You're partially right. I went 102.5 the game polo, gray one, and then I went blue jeans. So
blue jeans.
Okay.
Yeah, went blue jeans, tucked it in. I know that's some people look at it as frowned upon, but went blue jeans, tucked in with a polo, and then I wore some athletic shoes. So yeah, that was the sideline fit. No, I need to get myself a personalized belt buckle. Just says Dr. Crane on it. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll get one with you.
So,
I'll get a rifleman one. We'll tag team it.
And I'll get a PK1.
No, you are not PK1. That's a lawsuit you're going to lose every time. Nick Frazier.
I'm going to try to start doing, a hamburger, cheeseburger food review at all these high school games. Because I remember as a kid, I was a sucker for a hamburger, especially at these Friday night games. So if I can get there in time every Friday, I will pass that along for not nutrition, but you could call it Frazier's Flavors or something.
Oh,
sponsored by
I think you would be great at that. Dave Portnoy does the pizza reviews, and Nick Frazier does high school football cheeseburger reviews.
Yeah, I think that's what we got to have here going forward. So I just want to say thanks for you guys. Go ahead.
Can you bring that that PA announcer from Maplewood with you? Because that guy sounded electric.
Yeah, I actually saw him after the game. I said, man, great job on the pipes there. He goes, I'm just trying to do what I can do. I was like, I mean, it was really good. I could hear everything down there. There was one time last night, I think it was in the third quarter, and I think Maplewood either got a fumble recovery, and he said over the PA, he goes, does Maplewood have the ball? They have the ball. Maplewood has the ball. I was like, oh, that's a great way to do some announcing there for sure.
Nick Frazier, always a pleasure. We're excited to have you back next week. I won't see you every day next week. I'm going back to school, so I'm glad we could have you on. Even when you're not on the show, you are, in fact, on the show.
I appreciate it, guys. This show has been a lot of fun, especially through all the transition, but you, Parker, doing a great job as always. Connor, leading the ship, doing a really good job. Study hard, and yeah, I'll see y'all next week. Appreciate it.
He is Nick Frazier. That is Dr. Crane. He's just so hard to say goodbye to. I just love him too much.
You know, it's the third member of our crew, and yeah, even like you said, even when he's not officially here, he is still here in our hearts.
In our hearts, and probably somewhere on the receipt papers here at this gambling place, because I know that man likes to bet. We'll step aside, come back. As I mentioned with Frazier, week 0 of college football kicks off in just over an hour. Kansas State, Iowa State, Farmageddon. We'll talk about it next here on the Weekend Huddle. Connor Newt, Parker Kelly on 102.5 The Game. Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Second hour. Connor Newt, Parker Kelly. We are live from Circa Sportsbook here at Kentucky Downs, the Mint Gaming Hall at Kentucky Downs. This place is filling up fast. It is electric. People are here to watch Kansas State and Iowa State.
The people are ready for Farmageddon.
In week 0.
And I'm right there with them.
In week 0 of college football. We've opened this window so people will hopefully flock towards the concourse we are on and just sing our praises. I feel like the King of England.
Well, yeah,
right
we're kind of sitting atop all of those that are watching college football countdown right now in preparation for Farmageddon. This place is absolutely phenomenal. A little bit of sensory overload and all these TVs. This 80-foot flat screen TV or 80-inch, 80-foot. That would be huge.
80 inch is like the kind you would have in your bedroom.
Right. So, I'm
or your living room.
I'm not here to talk about metric units. Okay. So it's a big TV
that's the CFP committee's job.
Yeah. So,
yeah, we're going to be here all day checking out football. Come hang out with us. Dustin in Hopkinsville, it sounds like he's going to roll by and we're going to talk a little bit of Cats. Not on the show, just in general.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully, he asked us if we could put him on a headset and a mic and just let him talk. I don't know if I feel good about that, but
I don't think that would go over well with our boss. But feel free to text in. You're more than welcome to do that.
Feel free. As we always do in the 10 o'clock hour, it's time for your bold takes. 615-737-1025. Get those in now. Your bold take on Bold Take Row. Sports, non-sports. I'll take whatever you get. 615-737-1025. Let me also tell you really quick to tune into the 102.5 The Game Nashville app, or the GameNashville.com for NASCAR coverage of the Coke Zero Sugar 400 today at 6:30. Coverage presented by Michael Waltrip Signature Floor. Rev up your day on the Michael Waltrip Signature Floor, located on the 3rd floor of Hank Williams Jr. Boogie Bar. Wall-to-wall sports, cold drinks, and great food to fuel the fun. Parker Kelly, I know you are just revved up for some NASCAR action tonight.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I know that's your favorite.
I say that as sarcastically as possible. No slight to NASCAR. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I don't think it's Chase McCabe's cup.
It's some people's cup of tea, and if it is, I mean, that's great, but it's football season, man. That's all that I'm worried about right now.
It's Chase McCabe's cup of tea, and that pays your paycheck. So you better learn to love it, son. Let's get to some of your bold takes. Again, 615-737-1025. You can text or call us. Our phone line's driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
And for every bold take that comes in, I will rate it on a scale from 1 to 10 in terms of boldness.
And Parker will also place a parlay
in your honor.
I won't do that. Based on your greatness of bold take. Parker, why don't you lead us off with your take of bold?
All right. I want you guys to listen closely when I say this, okay? I'm not sure what type of reaction this will get, but I've told Connor this, and Connor knows that I'm very high on one team in particular this season in college football. Okay? Thank you. Either, I want you to listen close. Either Oklahoma or Florida will make the 12-team college football playoff in 2025. I believe in what Oklahoma has done in bringing over Washington State's offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle, but they didn't just bring the offensive coordinator over. They brought the quarterback as well in John Mateer. Now, I know most of you probably did not watch John Mateer last season in Washington State, and if you didn't, that's okay. I did, so I can tell you about him. This guy is legit. Over 40 touchdowns last year. This guy, I believe, will be a legit Heisman Trophy candidate this year. He doesn't have to learn a new system. He comes in, he's going to help Oklahoma, who really struggled on offense last year. And here's the thing. If Oklahoma doesn't make it, Florida will, because if Florida gets a healthy DJ Lagway in 2025, they were 6-1 in games in which he started last year. The one loss came against Georgia, and DJ Lagway actually exited the game with an injury, and they were up when he was in. So if DJ Lagway is healthy, I believe it'll be Florida, but his health has been a concern, so I rolled with Oklahoma.
Do you want to just do the call right now? Let's see if these people will do it with you. Yell across.
Well, I'll ask some of them what they think, and I'll explain my reasoning. But listen, I believe it. I believe it, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I will admit that I'm wrong. But I want to hear what you think. Do you think Oklahoma will make the playoffs in 2025?
No, I'm not drinking the Kool. I think they are a perennial 8-4 or 9-3.
Perennial?
Yeah.
Do you know what the word perennial means? They were good with Bob Stoops. They were like Brent Venables had a 10-win season, but what's unacceptable is no coaches. There's only been one coach that survived 3 losing seasons at Oklahoma, and that was over 100 years ago. Yeah. So if they have a losing season, which I don't think they will, obviously, since I just said they're going to go to the playoff, but no Oklahoma coaches survived 3 losing seasons outside of one.
Listen, there's a rivalry brewing between the team in which you are inside their state grounds and Oklahoma, mostly in basketball. I want you to go out there after we get off the air and ask all these people, do you think Oklahoma's making the playoff?
I will do
and
it.
See how that goes.
I'll do it.
Let's get to one of your texts. 2622 says a take that just warms my heart. Kentucky Wildcats will win 6 games and go to a bowl.
That
is indeed a bold take.
So that's not crazy, but here's the thing. Kentucky is. I'm sorry, Connor, and I know we are in the state, so I'm gonna whisper this.
Keep your voice down.
Whisper this. Kentucky is one of the bottom feeders in the SEC this year, and I hate to say that. Like honestly, like
how dare you disrespect a 13-time national champion?
I think Bob Stoops he's done a great job for Kentucky. I just don't think they have the resources to compete at a high level continually in the SEC. Connor, I'm so sorry to say this in front of you. That's pretty bold. I'm going to give that an 8 on the boldness scale.
On the boom meter?
On the boom meter. Yeah, we'll call it the boom
We're
meter.
Done with the boom meter. No, the boom meter's done. Jake Wallman, do you have a bold take for today, sir?
Yes, I do. Good morning, gentlemen, by the way.
Yes, I'm sorry. I always forget to say hi to you, and it was especially hard today since I can't see your beautiful face. So,
well, next week.
Next week, yes.
So before I get to my bold take, Parker, I'm going to respond to yours real quick. And I don't think Florida makes the playoff. I'm not buying what Billy Napier is selling. I feel like he is a poor man's Butch Jones.
Whoa. Okay. What about Oklahoma? What do you think about
the
Oklahoma?
jury's still out for me on Oklahoma and Brent Venables. This year, I think we will see if what he's building is going to be able to take hold.
Okay.
So I by the end of the year, I think we will know if Brent Venables is a viable head coach in the SEC.
Oh, Jake Wellman thinks Billy Napier is the champion of life, it sounds like.
Anyways,
brick by brick.
Anyways, my bold take. So I was listening to ESPN this morning on my way in, and they were talking about Jackson Dart, and he had a really, really good preseason for the Giants. I don't know if they've named their starter yet or not. They may have. But I think by
Russell Wilson will be their starter.
Okay.
Week 1.
So I'm going to say by, let's say November, Jackson Dart is the starting QB for the New York Giants.
I actually believe that.
Love it.
I like that one.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah, I could see him being the starter by like week 8. I think he's QB3 on their depth chart right now, simply because he's behind Russell Wilson
and James
Uncle
Jabu.
Crazy Uncle Jameis. I want a conversation between Jameis Winston and Chris Sanders. That's what I want.
I was hoping he'd come to Tennessee so we would have the opportunity to interview him.
That sounds like a positivity overload right there.
Yeah.
We could eat the W with Jameis and all that. So,
but I mean, just looking at Jackson Dart's preseason stats, I mean, just under 400 yards passing. I think he had 4 total touchdowns. I mean, he's looked really good.
He's looked very sharp. That's for sure. Very sharp. I actually really like that. Because Giants fans, this gives them something to look forward to because since Eli Manning, their quarterback play has been awful. And Daniel Jones had that one good year, but was it really like that good? I mean, 15 passing touchdowns,
they overachieved
5 interceptions, and that was his career year, and he got an extension off of that. I still think that was crazy, by the way. But
that is the sole reason why Saquon Barkley is in Philadelphia right now.
That's right.
Because they franchise tagged him. He didn't like it, and then gave Daniel Jones the money.
Yep.
They won a playoff game that year. They beat Minnesota. Devin and Dixon on our text line says college football and NASCAR is 10 times better than the NFL. There shall be no NASCAR slander on these airwaves, gentlemen.
Oh, trust me, I'm not slandering NASCAR. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, look, I know there's a lot of people, especially in this region of the country, that love NASCAR racing. It's just not for me.
And if you do, I will support you in that, and that's fine. It's just not my thing. Now, if you want to teach me about NASCAR, I'm more than willing to learn. But
yeah, I mean, I've kind of picked up some things just because it's on the air here. We carry every race, NASCAR wise. Chase, being around Chase, he'll teach you some things. But your college football is 10 times better than the NFL. Agree to that point, sir. Agree. Maybe not 10 times, but
you think NASCAR is better than the
college
NFL?
football is better than the NFL.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no. College football's king in the South.
Yeah.
And when I went to school in Chicago, I mean, they're a pro sports town. It was almost like a whole other world out there. Like, because they don't have college football teams.
Yeah.
Like, they have Illinois, but they're 3 hours south of Chicago, and they have Northwestern. So,
yeah. I mean, the Bears are king over there.
Yeah, that's right. The Bears, the Cubs, Bulls.
You get some
White Sox.
Yeah, some weird
Well,
White Sox.
the city is divided on that one. You go in the wrong territory and say go White Sox, and something bad may happen to you. So,
well, you could say a lot of things in that south side
true.
of the city. And
hey, you still haven't given your bold take, sir.
I will. Boise State. Everyone talks about how great their uniforms are, how great their color scheme is, yada yada.
Uh-oh.
The Smurf turf. I'm here to tell you, I hate it.
Oh my, Connor, what are we doing? You come to the bluegrass state and you slander the color blue?
No, it's Idaho. It doesn't.
I know you're
Idaho.
still slandering blue in the bluegrass state.
They have orange.
There will be no Boise State slander on these airwaves as long as I'm here. I have it on my bucket list to go to the Smurf turf. I want to go so bad. I just don't have a reason to go to Idaho. Maybe that is my reason.
Can I make this worse for you?
No, I really don't want you to, but go ahead.
Well, I'm about to. Coastal Carolina's turf is awesome. Boise State's turf sucks.
Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. Boise State has the best colored field in college football.
I hate their color scheme. I hate their uniforms. I hate it all.
Isn't Eastern Washington the one that has the red?
Yes.
And there's a D2 school. I think it's Lindenwood. They have like striped. It's like maroon and gray.
Yeah. Now I love the fields. Like Kentucky does it, for instance, where they have different colors of turf. Like they'll have a lighter green, and then the next hash mark will be a softer green. It's so cool. But I'm not a fan of colored turfs in general. Coastal I can live with. The other two, not a fan.
It's so unique though.
I think my beef is more with their uniforms than their turf.
What's wrong with their uniforms?
I don't like them. I don't like blue and orange together. Like, I think Florida makes it work, I guess.
What if it's like all blue with like a blue chrome? Do you like that?
No, because it has orange on it.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Jake, I'm going to need you to clip this so I can slander Connor personally on my own socials.
Yeah, it's done. Don't worry about
it. This is terrible. I can't believe he's saying this right now in my presence, nonetheless.
And the field I think you're thinking of, Parker, is Central Arkansas.
Yes.
Is that okay? That's the one.
They have the striped blue and gray, kind of like a Utah State color scheme.
Yes. Well, I think Lindenwood, you might have to double check, but I think they also have. But I do know Central Arkansas. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, this is Bold Take Row. I welcome any and all clash because that's just my opinion.
Unbelievable.
Blue belongs with white, and that is the only color it belongs with. You heard it here first.
I don't even know how we can finish the show after this. We still have that hour and 45 minutes
You can't
to go,
even
man.
look at me.
Gosh.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. We'll get more your texts and calls. We will still take your bold takes throughout the end of the show as we move on till noon. We are live here at the Circa Sportsbook at the Mint Gaming Hall in Kentucky Downs. Come see us. We're here all day watching college football. It's week 0. Lots of football. This place is filling up, and it is filling up fast. So come hang out with us. We'll get a bite to eat. We'll watch some football here at the Mint Gaming Hall at Kentucky Downs. When we come back, we will discuss those week 0 matchups here on the Weekend Huddle. Connor Newt, Parker Kelly here on 102.5 The Game.
Unbelievable.
Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. We are live from Circa Sportsbook here at the Mint at Kentucky Downs, watching college football all day long. They're going to be doing a giveaway throughout the day where a Circa Sports Kentucky Sportsbook booth will be giving away every Sunday of the NFL season. They're going to give away some Titans tickets. This giveaway is open to anyone who attends the watch party. The winner will be drawn at 6 p.m. Central, and the winner must be present to claim the prize for said Titans giveaway. 4 lucky winners will win a stay at the Circa Resort and Casino in Vegas during the Titans game in October. I believe that is when they take on the Las Vegas Raiders. As I said, we are live here at the Circa Sportsbook at Kentucky Downs. Jake Wallman is back at the studio. The Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game National Studios, home of the $99 yearly BI membership, where the buzz is about great service. Getting some great text from you guys on our bold takes. Devin and Dixon wants to clarify on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. He wants to make it clear that he watches the NFL, longtime suffering Cowboys fan. I mean, should we just cut it off right there? I'm just kidding.
No.
But for him,
I feel his pain.
He says, but for me, it's always been a college football all day.
That's right.
Saturday, NASCAR is Sunday, then whatever NFL game is left the rest of the Sunday.
College football is king here in the South.
That's a fair way to put it.
College football is king. And college sports in general, there's just something about the pageantry, the tradition. Nothing will ever touch it in my mind, and I know in your mind as well.
I know you are probably more sick in the head than I am when it comes to this.
Oh, no, I'm very sick. I'm very, very sick.
On a Saturday, I park my rear. I mean, we do the show, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I get home around 11:30, noon. I park my butt on the couch for the rest of the day, and I am just flipping through. I mean, I'll watch Kentucky every day. I'll watch all the big games, and then it becomes sicko hours after that when you're just looking through all the scores of the mid-major games that went on. So you're probably more sick in the head when it comes to that, but that's how I do it.
I am, and I had to have the conversation with my wife the other day. I sat her down, and I looked her in the eye, and I held her hand. I said, my loving wife, just so you know, Saturday is upon us once again.
Speaking of which, did you see there was a Kentucky fan that they're from Lexington. They got married, and his bride-to-be, now wife, invited a very special guest to his wedding, and that is Scratch the Wildcat. He showed up as the guy's best man.
That's the type of energy we need around here.
So to my future wife, if you are listening, part of our wedding fund is going towards having Scratch the Cat officiate the wedding. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and I thought about extending an invitation to Kirk Herbstreit and the whole game day crew. Unfortunately, they did not show up.
Wow.
But, I mean, it's okay. I'm sure we'll get the chance to meet. So
maybe one day. Let's go to our 102.5 The Game phone lines. Welcome in our friend Kenny the Mailman with the bold take. Kenny, go ahead, my friend.
Good morning, everybody. How are y'all?
We are doing fantastic, Kenny. How are you?
Excellent. I love that. I'm a big Commodore fan, but not having the foresight this year to buy their way out of a Virginia Tech visit there and a loss, coupled by moving to the 9-game SEC schedule that looks like they're going to do it next year. Not only is Vandy missing a bowl game this year, it'll be quite some time before they'll be able to qualify for another one.
Oh,
wow.
Sad to say, looking at the schedule this year, it's too hard for anybody, much less Vandy. And they knew they had to go to Georgia Tech. And a lot of people don't like doing things this way, but you send them $2 million and say, we're not coming. We're going to host Virginia Union that week. A lot of people don't like that, but I don't know if you know it. 3 teams have already done that to Vandy: Colorado State, Houston, and Purdue. You go play them, and then they send you money and say, oh, yeah, we're not coming there. So you got to do what you got to do. But if they went 6-6 this year and went to the Liberty Bowl, we'd all be happy, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I'd say. I mean, I think Vanderbilt fans, just because of what Diego Pavia said over the course of when games weren't played, I don't believe in an off season. So when there weren't games played, I think Diego Pavia's comments kind of spurred the fan base to want even more this year.
Well, I'm a realist. Back-to-back 6-6 seasons at every other SEC school will get you fired.
Kenny, I want to go through this schedule with you. So Charleston Southern at Virginia Tech, at South Carolina, Georgia Tech, and Utah State. Realistically, I could see Vanderbilt, probably best case scenario, go 4-1. But here's the back half, and it's really tough. You're at Alabama, at home versus LSU, at home versus Missouri, at Texas versus Auburn versus Kentucky, and at Tennessee. Those games are going to be really tough, and you get that on the back half.
I know. If you just sit and look at it logically, you can't go play Virginia Tech. You've got to have that cushion going into those games because you couple injuries with you're going to be out athlete in every game. Almost all of them are road games, even if they're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, so 6-6 in a bowl game. Every Vanderbilt fan ought to be jumping up and down. So that's what I'm hoping for. But staring at that night game at Virginia Tech, I know y'all sell that short sometimes, say, oh, they haven't been very good or anything. That is one of the best atmospheres around. And
it's a night game,
Vanderbilt's not a good road. Vanderbilt's not a good road team. Everybody talks it up. Oh, that's a potential win. Yeah. Vanderbilt struggles with anybody on the road. So, hey, let's keep our fingers crossed. Maybe we'll sneak up on one or two teams, but I do not like that 9-game schedule coming up. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you very much for the call. Love me some Kenny the Mailman. But I do think he has a point. That is a tough schedule for Vanderbilt.
Well, when was the last time that we said Alabama has Vanderbilt circled on their schedule? Have we ever said that? I don't think we've ever said that.
I don't think that's ever been said in the history of college football.
But this year, they absolutely do. And think about they have to play at Texas, and that's coming off of Alabama, LSU, Missouri 3-game stretch. They have to play at Texas, and then they end the year at Tennessee. We don't know what to expect really from Tennessee. There's a lot of newness, but playing in Neyland Stadium, one of the loudest stadiums in the country,
in a rivalry game,
that's tough. That's going to be really tough.
And Tennessee doesn't like what your quarterback has been saying.
Oh, no. Alabama, they have this game circled too. You better believe.
Alabama doesn't like what your quarterback's been saying, especially after you beat him. So best believe Vanderbilt is on some people's target schedules. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. I've been promising this for like the last 30 minutes, but we'll get into the Week 0 matchups today. Farmageddon over in Dublin, Ireland, as Kansas State and Iowa State get ready for a big game very early on with Big 12 title implications and even playoff implications. We'll get into that next here on the Weekend Huddle, Saturday mornings. Connor Newt, Parker Kelly with you on 102.5 The Game. Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Parker Kelly. We are live from Circa Sportsbook in Kentucky at the Mint Gaming Hall in Kentucky Downs, the Bluegrass State, baby. Go Big Blue.
Perfect timing of us getting back on the air because Connor and I just got done in a full-on fist fight after what he said about Boise State. So
I got one more bold take for you on our text line.
Oh, boy.
And you are absolutely going to love it because I know you well enough.
Okay.
2622 on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, says, man, I'm glad I found this show. Took my son to his first Titans game last night, headed back to Kentucky. First off, hope he enjoyed the game. Go Titans, tighten up. Cutter Boley will be the starting QB in week 3 for the Cats.
Whoa, that's what the text just said?
Yeah.
So it's so funny because I'm going to give our texter a little bit of insight. I train quarterbacks on the side for QB Vision, and Cutter Boley is a client of QB Vision. I've never trained Cutter Boley because me and him were preparing for college around the same time. But I've trained with Cutter before, and I think that is a likely possibility. But you also got to remember Zach Calzada is pretty experienced, so unless there's an injury there, then maybe sure Cutter Boley gets the start week 3. I've heard he's been looking good in practice. So
yeah, he's according to all the guys out in KSR and Matt Jones and that whole bunch, he's looked phenomenal in practice. I think they're obviously going to start Zach Calzada, the 7th year senior, I believe.
He beat he beat Alabama as the starter at Texas A&M in 2020. Or was it 2020? Well, it was one of the two.
It was COVID year, I think.
Yep.
But he has been around a long time. I don't think he's necessarily a bad quarterback, but I also don't think he's necessarily a good quarterback.
They spent a lot of money to get him, but he was very, very good at incarnate Word. Cam Ward 2.0 at Kentucky?
We'll see.
I'm just kidding.
Cutter Boley, I think, has more upside. Redshirt freshman. I mean, they turned to him last year when things got rough with.
Played a couple games. Played versus Texas. Played versus Murray State. Did he get to play against Louisville at all?
He did. They turned to him when we learned Brock Vandegrift sucks, and not Cutter Boley. Gavin Wimsatt, your other boy, also sucks. But yeah,
lots of my boys being thrown around. I don't know if Gavin Wimsatt is necessarily my boy. He might be more so. You're the Kentucky fan over here, so.
Well, he is in fact not my boy. He is a Jacksonville Gamecock now, so he is in Conference USA. But yeah, I could totally see Cutter Boley being starting QB in week 3 for my Wildcats. Let's talk about week 0. Lots of games on today, like you said. Kind of the appetizer for the main course, but you got a great ranked game over in Dublin, Ireland today. I'm going to keep doing the accent every time I say it.
You kind of sound like Pat McAfee when you say it.
Dublin. It sounds like Seamus, the Nashville native.
That's true.
Ranked 2022, number 22 Iowa State taking on number 17 K-State over in Ireland. It's a game with big Big 12 implications. Could play into the college football playoff if both teams' records are in their favor. What do we make of this one? I think this is going to be a fun one. You got 2 great quarterbacks in Avery Johnson and Rocco Becht. I think this is going to be quite the appetizer we need for the college football season.
Week 0 has provided some very interesting games over the last couple of years, but the fact that we get a rivalry that's usually played at the end of the year, we get it in week 0 between 2 ranked teams. We know the margins are so razor thin in the Big 12. Iowa State, Kansas State. Kansas State, according to ESPN Bet, actually has the highest odds to win the Big 12. Iowa State is 7. Iowa State was in the game last year versus Arizona State. So this has legitimate college football playoff implications in week 0. And you know how Big 12, they're so entertaining to watch. This could be very high scoring too.
Yeah.
The over-under win total is at 52.5. Kansas State is projected to win by 3.5. They're minus 3.5.
It's such a wide open conference. I think you and I have talked about playoff predictions on the air raid, and then I talked about it with Lyman and Frazier on his show. I have Kansas State making my playoffs. I do because I like Avery Johnson. I think he's a good quarterback. I think they have a great young offense. I think that conference, like I said, is just so wide open, and I love the rushing attack because Kansas State, if you watch their football program, that is a run heavy offense.
Oh yeah, and think about this: Avery Johnson, that staff and that organization believes so much in him that it forced Will Howard to transfer out, and he ended up winning the national championship at Ohio State. So that shows you how much they believe in Avery Johnson. He's a great runner. He's probably the fastest guy on the team.
Yeah.
But he needs to develop the downfield passing. They returned their leading receiver, leading tight end. They got 3 receivers in the portal to try to help him out a little bit. If that clicks for Kansas State this year, I could absolutely see them winning the Big 12. I will label them question marks at this point because there have not been a game played yet instead of a concern, but we'll have to see.
I think this game is really a testament. And again, that game kicks off here in about 30 minutes. 29 minutes to be exact.
29 minutes and 5 seconds.
Now 4 seconds, not 3 seconds,
Yep.
2 seconds, and so on. Let's just do that the rest of the show. Let's just count down.
Should we get? We'll give a play-by-play because we're going to be on the first hour or so of the game.
Yeah,
so
I mean, people are going to be watching. But I think this game is just a testament to the new era of college football. College football playoff. The Big 12 is probably a 1 to 2 team bid league. So these teams got to come out fast. They got to get a win early in week 0. And this is a game that is usually played on the very last week of the season. This is a big-time rivalry game. Expect things to get chippy. Expect some physicality out there. I can't wait to see the physicality and the stuff that goes on the field. Who do you got winning this one?
I picked Iowa State, and I think it is going to be very, very close. I think this is going to be a great matchup like last year. But I have Iowa State because I trust their quarterback implicitly more at this stage. I also trust Matt Campbell a little bit more. He's the winningest coach in Iowa State program history. They're coming off an 11-win season. I don't believe success necessarily carries over year to year, but I really trust Rocco Becht.
Yeah.
So, and they returned both of their starting running backs as well they returned both of their leading rushers from last year.
This is where I'll counter you, and I'll go K-State. I think I called him Avery Williamson the other day on accident. I don't know who that is or why I said
linebacker. Former Titans linebacker.
That's
Avery
right.
Williamson.
That's
from
right.
your alma, or I was going to say your alma mater.
Yeah,
from
he's
your,
a cat. Of
yeah,
course.
he's a cat.
Come
Connor.
on, and he didn't know why he was saying, is Connor Newt really a ball knower? That's what we've learned today because he started slandering Boise State's field, and now he doesn't remember his former Kentucky players. Like, what are we even doing here, man?
I'm sure you've done that before with the Vols, first of all.
Never.
I've
never done that before.
But when you just get a name stuck in your head and you're like, all right, who the hell is that guy? Like the other day for me, it was Nico Harrison. And I was like, who is Nico Harrison? And then I narrowed it down. I was like, that sounds like a basketball
game.
Mavs? And then I came to the conclusion it's the Mavs general manager. And I remember that because he's an idiot. But you just get, it's like an earworm. Like when you get a song stuck in your head and it's a well-known song, you just can't figure out what it is. That's what it was for former Wildcat Avery Williamson.
I was interviewing ESPN NFL Nation Falcons reporter, and I was talking about their first-round picks, Jalen Walker and James Pierce. I remember James Pierce, of course, but I was like, why isn't Jalen Walker's name coming to me? And I was thinking of Michael Williams, the other Georgia guy who's now on the 49ers. And I was like, I was stumbling over my words. And I was like, this is embarrassing because I know that, but I was just thinking of the other guy.
Earworms happen, my friend. We'll continue the conversation on the other side. We've kind of broken down the big game of the day. There's some other games going on as well as it is week 0. But I want to talk to you about this because I think I know your opinion, but I kind of want to combat you on it a little bit. Is week 0 absolutely essential for college football? That's up next here on the Weekend Huddle. Connor Newt, Parker Kelly here with you on 102.5 The Game. Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Connor Newt, Parker Kelly with you on this Saturday morning, taking you around college football as it is week 0. We are live here at Circa Sportsbook at the Mint Gaming Hall in Kentucky Downs. Come on, stop by. We got football here, week 0 stuff going on. It is loading up out here. People are sitting, people are eating. We're going to be right in there with them, my friend. I'm so excited to watch football.
We are one with the fans of college football.
Yes,
Just because we host a radio show does not mean that we are not part of the massive college football fan base.
Now, when we descend into the plane of normalcy, I'll say, the lobby down here, I expect a rousing applause from all the natives of Kentucky as they know
You're one of them.
I am one of them.
You're one of them.
I am one of them. Texter on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com 2622 says, hate to keep texting. Please, no.
No. We want you to text.
We want you to text. Is there a way to listen to you guys live during the week? I looked on iHeart with no luck. For me and Parker specifically, we are on Saturdays 9 to 11. Today we're on till 12, but 9 to 11. Our podcast is uploaded wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple, iHeart, wherever you look.
We each have a podcast.
Yes.
We could do a free promotion right here. Why don't you go first?
Free ads. I host a podcast called Ring Knowers. It's professional wrestling, which is sort of my passion. But we're also on the air together Friday nights, taking you around the mid-state of high school football during the game blitz from 6 to 11 p.m.
And I have a podcast titled The Air Raid with Parker Kelly. It is college football year-round. Trying to pump out 3 episodes a week. And we did this week. The last episode was actually with Connor. It uploaded last night, so that is available to listen to. And also, please make sure that you follow me on the socials because I'm going to be tweeting out my college football playoff prediction that we did last night just in case you haven't seen it. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that.
But as far as live programming, we are on together 6 to 11 on Fridays, talking all things high school football. And then, of course, Saturday mornings, 9 to 11. But thank you for asking. I really appreciate it and hope we steered you correctly. Parker, let's get into this conversation because I kind of know where you're going to go here because I know the person you are and I know how mentally unstable you are. But is week 0 in college football absolutely necessary?
No, it is not necessary.
Whoa.
Here's why. Because this idea of the 24-28 team playoff that's been floated around by the Big Ten, let me first – that's like, I think Josh Pate gave a great analogy, and I'm going to use the same one. So it's like when, let's consider your Uncle Jeremy. He says, hey, kids, where do you want to go on vacation? And
my
he
Uncle Jeremy's in prison.
Oh, okay. Well, Uncle Terry says, hey, kids, we're going to St. Louis on vacation.
I don't know if I want my uncle to start a conversation with, hey, kids, but go ahead.
Nobody wants to go to St. Louis on vacation.
I would
get hit. Hold on. I'm not done. And he says, we're going to St. Louis on vacations. The kids are like, oh, no, we don't want to go to St. Louis on vacation because nobody outside of Connor wants to go to St. Louis on vacation. To make it better, he says, okay, how about we go to Kosovo, Russia? Nobody wants to go to Kosovo. No, we don't want to go to Kosovo.
That's a flight risk.
Okay, he's like, okay, what about St. Louis? And I'm like, oh, St. Louis isn't as bad. That's exactly what the Big Ten is doing with this playoff. Nobody wants the 24-28 team playoff, but they're throwing that idea out there to get their original